Hey guys, it's Laurel, and I'm turning 28. She's almost 30, y'all, but she's only getting older and wiser and hotter, so... Every year I like to do something along the lines of a video I used to see Jenna Marbles do, where we talk about things that I've learned in the years I've been alive. Now that I'm 28, I have a list of 28 things that I want to tell you guys that I've learned. Maybe this stuff can help you. Maybe this stuff is just funny and it'll make you smile. But these are things that I feel like I've learned from my own perspective. This is my journey, my experience, and it might not be the same for everyone, but I figure why not at least share with you guys my thoughts and feelings about things so that we can just years from now look back and be like, oh, that was an interesting take. Maybe we have a new take now, or, something along those lines. But this video is going to be really long. These videos are always long, so I need to just get into it. So these are the 28 things I've learned in 28 years. And hopefully I don't repeat anything I've put in the last birthday videos in the past. It's hard to keep track, Y'all let me know if there's any repeats. Number 1, vacations are necessary for my mental health. I think that this is common knowledge for everybody, but we don't always actually let ourselves relax. Anytime I go on a vacation, even if it's just for like 2 to 3 days, where I spend as little time on social media as possible, I come back refreshed. It feels good. It reminds me that I'm alive and real. Like looking at screens all the time, I kind of forget that I'm not a freaking robot in a simulation, It's nice to just go out into the real world, even if it's a staycation, and just unplug and take a break. And I need to do it more. Number 2, sometimes the most selfless thing to do is just to leave someone alone. I've been going through the journey of having to forgive myself for things that I didn't have the tools to deal with when I was younger. And that means that I hurt some people, and I would love, love, love to talk to them and apologize and tell them I've grown and all those things. But honestly, it just might be better for them, for me to not get involved again. And it's a hard pill to swallow. I think all of us have made mistakes before unlearning toxic habits that were taught to us by people when we were growing up. But that is definitely something I have had to unlearn myself. I want to apologize, but it's just selfless to just leave it be. Number 3, gratitude journaling actually helps. You guys know I have a gratitude journal on stream. I have a gratitude journal IRL. I even have my own digital gratitude journal that we do on the YouTube channel once a month. Every time I sit down and film one of those videos, every time I sit down and write down what I'm grateful for, every time I thank you guys on stream by writing down your guys' names and things that are happening, I feel better. I always do. And sometimes the depression is so hard. It's so difficult. You can't even lift up a pen to paper. But 9 times out of 10, it works. And I feel better. So I'm putting it in this video to remind myself in the future that it works. I know you don't want to do it right now, but do it. Remind yourself what you're grateful of. The best things in life should be a constant reminder of why we are alive. Okay, number 4 comes from a book I'm currently reading called Attached. And in this book, it states in different verbiages multiple times that leaning on people is human nature. No one is meant to be fully independent. I think that sometimes we get told that our needs are too much or that we are too much by the wrong people. This book was a reminder that literally scientifically we need people. No matter how much of an avoidant person you are, how much of an introvert you are, needing people is human nature. So your needs are valid and normal and healthy, and it doesn't mean that you're needy. Oh, number 5, espresso martinis are always appropriate. I don't think I need to elaborate. If there is one on the menu, I will order it. Number 6. As an insomniac since the age of 16, investing in good sleep is the best way to live life. I always feel happier, healthier, and less depressed when I get a good night's rest. And that's not always easy. People have come at me from all sides being like, try melatonin, try magnesium, try this, try that. And it just doesn't matter because it's person to person. And I've tried everything, right? Things usually that you take by mouth, they give me migraines, but what has worked for me in the most recent years has been brown noise or rain noise, a nice sleep mask, a silk sleep mask, and a stuffy and a gravity blanket. Not a full weighted blanket, but a gravity blanket. Ever since I started investing in my sleep and doing all these methods that work for me, I look forward to sleeping. I used to be a procrastinator when it came to bedtime, and now I'm kind of like, ugh. Actually, it does sound nice to like listen to a podcast, listen to rain and just chill and have the gravity blanket. Like, as long as you do what works for you, you'll start looking forward to it and then you'll notice the difference. Who cares if it's expensive to invest in your sleep? Who cares if you look ridiculous? If people judge you for cradling a stuffed animal in bed, that's on them. We only get one life, y'all, as far as we're aware. So, sleep well and do what works for you. Number 7, your brain saying should is a voice that was put in your head and is not yours. I think all of us go through moments where it's like, well, I should be down to get on the roller coaster. I should feel comfortable enough to hang out with this friend of mine one-on-one. I should have finished my dinner, or I should have ordered the salad. That's a should voice that's been in my brain since I was 8. But that was put there by someone, and it's not you. So whenever you catch your brain saying shoulds, try to look inward and ask, do I want to do those things? Or do I feel like I have to do those things because people have made me feel that way? Do I actually want to go on the roller coaster? Do I actually want to order the salad? Do I actually want to hang out with that friend one-on-one? And that should be the actual answer to your question. Number 8, things that take longer usually create more joy. I don't exactly remember what I meant when I wrote this, but I will say that in the past, I have felt myself dissociate a lot because I do things that are quick and easy and involve screen time. But taking time to journal, taking time to scrapbook, this is a new thing that I've been doing this past year that I enjoy. Taking the time to clean out your closet, taking the time to like do things that make you be present, but also can be creative or stimulating mentally. It's always worth that over spending time on your phone, scrolling through TikTok, scrolling through Twitter, etc. I know this is like common knowledge, but sometimes we just need to be reminded that like genuinely I feel much more joy when I go to the grocery store and I take out exactly what I want to eat and then I go home and I set it all out and cook it. Cooking takes a long time, but it's usually worth it. If you guys have examples of this, like stuff that takes longer but grants you joy, I want to hear about it in the comment section below. I just want to know, what is that thing that you spend time doing? Number 9, if you feel uncomfy, it doesn't matter if you should or shouldn't. Listen to your gut. This kind of piggybacks on the should in our brain, but this also relates to a situation that I dealt with really recently where I kept in my brain being like, I should want this. I do want this. I want this, right? I think. And then I spent like 2 weeks after the fact being like, no, I don't think I did. I think I wanted to feel a certain way, but I didn't. And so I was forcing myself, right? Listen to your gut. If you're questioning how you're feeling about something in the moment, you're questioning it for a reason. And our gut, our little tums, they know. They know. And I think especially being neurodivergent, sometimes it's hard to trust your gut. But I have just been shown time and time again, especially this year, that if I had just listened to my gut, I would have saved so much time and trauma. But just to finish out my number 9 statement, if you feel uncomfortable, you feel uncomfortable. If your body is telling you you're uncomfortable, you are uncomfortable. Listen to that. If there's people around you, friends that you trust, and they are not uncomfortable, but you are, it's okay. It's okay that they're comfortable and you're not. But you should still listen to your body. Ooh, number 10 is a really hard pill to swallow, and I've been working on it for a long time, but I feel like I'm finally mastering it. Number 10, it is not your responsibility to mind read. If they have a problem and they don't state it, that is not on you. I was the emotional support child. I was the therapist friend. I was the people pleaser that didn't really understand that people pleasing doesn't always mean like trying to please everyone. Sometimes it just means like sacrificing what I need for others. And that means that I'm really in tune with people's energy. I can tell when things are off. And I always used to just try to zone in on what it is and try to figure it out and try to fix it. But that was so much emotional labor that I never needed to do. So I don't do that anymore because we are adults now. And if you don't communicate that you have an issue with me, then you don't have an issue with me. It's not enough of an issue. Or I don't want to be friends with somebody who can't communicate it. It sucks because there are just people that struggle to communicate these things. But I have so much to deal with, so much going on, and so many things that make me feel anxious and guilty and stressed on a daily basis that I don't need to add this feeling that someone might dislike me to that plate. So if they're having an issue and they care enough to pursue a relationship, platonic, romantic, etc. with me, they will talk about it. And if they don't, that's not on me. Especially being neurodivergent. 9 times out of 10, I can't tell when I shove my foot in my mouth. And it sucks. It really sucks. But I have learned this year that the right friends will tell me if I fuck up. And then we'll talk about it. And then we'll fix it. And then we'll move on. And those are the kind of people I want to surround myself with. Number 11 is also hard pill as well. I kind of put a lot of hard pills next to each other. And that wasn't intentional. But I was just writing them down as I was feeling them. If they wanted to, they would. Isn't always fair. And I say this because when I was leaving an abusive relationship, I spent 2 years just trying to be a human again. And that sounds so dramatic, but it is exactly how I felt. I did not feel real. I didn't understand how much I needed and how much people needed me. I couldn't be there for my friends. It sucked. It sucked knowing that I lost people when I couldn't be there for others. Didn't mean I didn't want to. Because I wanted to. And I know that if I felt this way, I'm not the only person that's gone through this. You know, if they wanted to, they would, unless they've experienced trauma that makes them feel like they shouldn't. Unless they don't have spoons to give. Unless they are disabled in some way. If they are experiencer of chronic pain. There's so many things. It's just, things aren't black and white. That's what it is. Maybe that's what number 11 should be. Things aren't black and white. Being autistic, that's always been hard for me to wrap my brain around, but things are not, and I'm learning that so hard. You get to decide if your friend's flaws or their lack of catering to your needs is worth you sticking around. Because, I'm sorry, but people can't always be there for you. They can't be this version of people that we talk about on the internet all the time. If they want to, they would. It's just not true. It really isn't. That being said, in romantic relationships, if the effort's not there, then life's too short. Number 12. This one is very situational, and it might not be for everybody watching this video, but it's definitely for me and my content creator friends. Meeting my content creator friends in person is S tier. I'm always scared to do it, right? I've made all these friends during the pandemic that I hang out with and talk to all the time online, but meeting them in person makes me so nervous. But it's always worth it. First of all, you really get a real judgment of character when you finally meet people in person. But actually being able to physically hug your friends and be around your friends and make jokes with your friends in real time and make eye contact with your friends. Oh my God. It's unreal. And I guess there's people watching this video who do that all the time. But as someone who, as a job, I'm chronically online, I don't get to experience that very much. So this is once again a reminder to myself to stop using screens so much. Get out there and experience your friends IRL more. I have been doing that this year, and I really haven't been streaming as much, and I can tell I'm not streaming as much, but it's doing wonders for my mental health, so life is about give and take, let me tell you. Number 13, I'm hot. Some of you guys are like, okay, chill. No. I will not be chill about how hot I am. I will not be normal about how hot I am. I have spent 25 years not letting myself be hot, not letting myself agree that I am hot, not letting myself take compliments or ever feel pretty or ever feel sexy or interesting. But I was incorrect. I am hot. And I am interesting, and I am cool, and I am strong and funny and a blast to be around, and I care a lot. Loving me is not hard, so it shouldn't be for others either. Wow, I'm not gonna cry. We're only halfway through this shit. Let's go. Number 14. It's so dumb, but I have to put in a few of these. Number 14. I like oysters. They look disgusting, but they taste delicious, and apparently I like them. I almost spilled my drink. Okay, number 15 is short and sweet, but also so true. Twitter is bad for my mental health. I just got done with a 6-day subathon on my stream like last month. I literally streamed straight for 6 days. The only breaks I took were to sleep and at one point like work out. And other than that, I did not scroll Twitter for 6 days. And do you know how good I felt? And then the very first day that the subathon was over, I spent it all day on Twitter and I felt so depressed. Social media is about, comparing yourself to other people, and we don't need to do that. Unfortunately, it's a big part of my job, which is why I have it. But being aware of how bad it is for me is at least a step in the right direction. I have been spending less time on it since I've realized how truly bad it is for me. So anyway, petition to get rid of Twitter. Thank you. Ooh, okay. Number 16. Going to the movies by yourself is S tier. I've been doing this for a while. I used to have such anxiety going to the movies by myself, but now I make it a whole thing. It is a self-date. It is the best time to take myself out. I could go to a special showing at the Alamo Drafthouse of a classic horror movie in theaters, have a little cookie, have a little snack, have a little salad, treat myself. It is the best thing in the world. And I honestly really look forward to those nights. They're like little self-dates. I learned number 17 after RTX. I invited a bunch of people to my house and we got super high. But number 17, I'm hilarious when I'm high. But I don't need to be high to be hilarious. I don't smoke as much as I used to. I also don't drink as much as I used to. Now when I do either, it is very much like an intentional choice. I will say, sometimes when I accidentally get way too high, I am the funniest person in the room. Maybe it's because I'm not sitting there like judging myself or like constantly like in my head in a very neurodivergent way. But at the same time, RTX was that whole weekend. And I was brought on stage multiple times to be a funny person on stage. And you know what? I am. I can be sober and be funny. Number 18, therapy words can be weaponized. So you need to trust actions over words. Easier said than done. But we are in a day and age where people know words like boundaries and know words like communication and avoidant and anxious attachments and blah, blah, blah. But it doesn't mean that the right people are using them in the right way. Someone can say that they are anxious attached or secure attached and treat you like they're avoidant attached. And you have to trust the action over the words, which is very frustrating because honestly, if everybody was just honest and communicated exactly how they were feeling, we would save so much time. Why can't everybody be neurodivergent? Goddamn. Number 19. Communicating everything is S tier. It is self-compassion. It is self-love. My therapist always says that knowledge is power. So if something is bugging you, it's great to ask questions. If you don't understand something, ask questions, learn about it, gain that knowledge, gain that power. And for me, I sometimes don't know how to follow my gut completely because I don't always know exactly how I'm feeling. And speaking out loud and auditorily processing my shit is more helpful than processing it in my brain. In order to be my most at peace, I just have to communicate everything. I have to let people know, like, hey, this is how I'm feeling today. I used to be a person who lied a lot when it came to reasons why I wouldn't go out. I would, I don't feel good. I'm late because I feel like I might have food poisoning, blah, blah, blah. These little tiny lies because I was too nervous to be honest and be like, I'm too sad. I'm too tired. I use too much of my energy. But now, knowing that this is just a part of who I am as a person, mainly because of my disability, like, it is okay to just say, hey, I'm too depressed to come see you tonight. I don't feel good enough about myself to hook up. I don't want to be flirty tonight, but it doesn't mean I don't like you. I want to hang out with low spoon friends tonight instead of new friends. Sometimes these things are hard for people to hear, but I would much rather be honest than tell a white lie that I have food poisoning. It makes me feel more heard and more understood. I hate being misunderstood. It is self-care. It is self-compassion. I am advocating for myself by being fully honest. And also, it weeds out the wrong people. If people don't like when I can't hang out because I simply am too depressed, then they're not the kind of people I want in my life anyways, because this is the way I must navigate my life in general. And the reason I've learned that this year is because I have surrounded myself with the right people. I love the people that are constantly like, God, I love that you're communicating with me. That's so great. Thank you for communicating with me. I love it so much. I can't read subtext, you know? So communicate everything, please. I just said this in my most recent video, but I'll say it here. Number 20, give off you 100% to receive that same energy 100%. And what I mean by that is, like, don't dim your light to make friends, because then you're going to make friends with people who like when your light is dimmed. Be you 100% to attract people who like you 100%. I love my wild, weird, free-spirited, communicative, neurodivergent, not always neurodivergent, but a lot of the time neurodivergent, dorky, sexy friends. I love that I can go into my spaces with my friends from here on out and there is just no judgment. We just want each other to be happy and safe and comfortable. And that is better than any dessert. It's better than any party or status or money. Oh my God, that is success to me. Don't cry. You have so many more to get through. But this shows me that I am successful. Okay, the next one's really fun. Number 21. We only get one body, so we might as well make it art. Bitch, go get some tattoos. Bitch, go get some piercings. If I wasn't allergic to metal, I would have more piercings. But hey, I'm getting tattoos and I'm loving it and I can't wait to get more. We are an art piece. Customize us. Customize you. Customize your body. Make yourself a work of damn art, because that's what you are. And that also means stop treating your body like it must look one way. Nobody wants to buy a piece of artwork that looks like every single piece of artwork you've ever seen. Being unique is beautiful. Number 22, videos do not do Hayley Williams justice. And I know she sounds amazing in videos, but she is even better live. I finally saw Paramore live for the first time in my life, my very favorite band of more than half of my life. I finally saw them live, and holy cow, it just hits different. It just hits different than a video. It's gonna be my life meaning to just see her in concert as many times as I possibly can now. Number 23, it is more fulfilling to spend your money on experiences than material things. I say this because I'm a girly who loves clothes. I really, really do. But I've gotten into thrifting, and that's been just as fulfilling as going shopping and spending a stupid amount of money on like 4 pairs of shoes, you know? Shoes are really expensive. I don't know why I use that as an example, but you know what I mean? It is okay to spend your money on material things, but it is so fulfilling to spend it on experiences. And I think that there can be a balance. Like, this shirt is not cheap. I just bought it and I really like it. It makes me feel really good about myself. It drapes me just the right way. But I also loved that I got to go jet skiing with my girls at the beach. Like, I get to look back on those memories for the rest of my life. I guess what I'm trying to say is, if you can't necessarily afford something, but it's going to be fulfilling and something that you will remember for the rest of your life, I would encourage you to try to make it work. It's easier said than done, but I would rather be broke and get to go on trips and see my friends and do crazy things than being stuck in my home and only interacting with people through a camera on the internet every single night. Number 24, the stupid walks for a stupid mental health, stupid work. I was so depressed 2 or 3 days ago. I was so depressed to the point that I could not put on workout clothes. I couldn't get out of my pajamas. I couldn't even put a bra on. I absolutely couldn't put socks and shoes on. But you know what I did? I knew I needed to get out of this funk, and so I just walked on my treadmill, barefoot, in my PJs, which, by the way, is like a sweater and pajama pants. So I sweated through my PJs, no bra, no shoes. I got blisters all over my feet because I knew it would work, and it did. And guess what? Afterwards, I cleaned my house. I got some work done. The stupid walks help. They don't always work 100%, but it's better than not doing it at all. Oh my God, I love this one. Number 25. The pooch is sexy. You see that? Look at this. I'll show you guys some of my favorite pictures of my pooch too. I'll put them over here. But this pooch right here, are you kidding? The curvature of this shit, this is where all of my, like, machinery is. This shit keeps me alive right in here. Okay? But not only that, isn't it more interesting to look at something with curves than something that is straight lined? Right? Like, look at this whole art project of curvature. I used to feel like I couldn't wear any tight clothing because I always had that. I always had that. At the age of 12, I had that. And I thought, I'm fat. I'm ugly. And that is just not true. You can be fat and beautiful. Fat doesn't equal ugly. And also, that is just a natural part of you. This is all very sensitive. And it is a short video, so it's hard to talk about this at length and be completely articulate. But what I'm trying to say is that I'm so grateful that something I used to be so insecure about actually makes me feel so incredibly sexy now. I love wearing a pencil skirt and having that stick out. I think it's so sexy. It is so sexy. And I guess the reason I was able to put it in perspective is because when I saw it on other women or other femmes, I'd be like, so why couldn't I do that to myself, right? Shift your mindset. That shit's hot as hell. Straight lines are boring. Curves are prettier. Oh, I love having my curves. I love my curves. It's so sexy. And so now I love wearing a tight skirt. Oh my God. Number 26. Is this number 26? Yes. Number 26. Probiotics help. Probiotics are S tier. Speaking of, I need to take mine for the day. Okay, y'all. Hot bitches have tummy problems. We know this. You know how simple it is to just like take care of yourself a little bit more every day by just getting probiotic gummies? I had so many stomach issues in 2022, and ever since I started taking these, they're so much better. They're not fixed completely, but they are few and far between in comparison. Oh, also add to number 26, vitamin D helps too. Just take it. The pill's so small. Look at this. Look how tiny that is. Like, if you're like me and you struggle to get out in the sun enough because your job makes you have to be constantly inside, or you are quite literally allergic to the sun because it does horrible things to your skin, this will help you get that nutrients that you get from the sun. And honestly, it should boost your mood. At least a little bit. And if not, at least it's placebo, but it's working for me. We're almost to the finish line, y'all. But these last two, they hit pretty hard. So, buckle up. Number 27. I don't want people in my life that I have to beg to be there. So, I don't beg anymore. I don't really know if I need to elaborate on that one, but life is too short to beg people to want to be around you. Why would you want that anyway? I absolutely don't. And let me tell you, I begged lots of people to stay, but we don't do that anymore. Number 28, things will never be perfect. So grant yourself the courage to be messy. And I don't just mean this in, my makeup needs to be perfect. My hair needs to be perfect for videos. I have been a lot better about just allowing myself to look how I look for YouTube videos. But I also just mean in interactions. Like, allow yourself to be clumsy in interactions. You're not going to have your perfect introduction the first time you meet someone. And if you do, damn, good for you. But I promise you it wasn't perfect. It wasn't perfect. And because things are never going to be perfect, striving for it is just so much extra stress. You're just shortening your lifespan, you know? And I know that's easier said than done, especially if you are a like clinical perfectionist. But I think that I have had really fulfilling interactions with people once I've stopped like worrying about embarrassing myself or doing things wrong. Because here's the thing, if you do something wrong, you can just apologize. If you're awkward, you can be like, oh, sorry, that was a mistake. Like, let me try again, you know, like, and honestly, that's you. Mistakes you make are just you in different fonts, right? So you want to have those interactions with people as you in different fonts so that you know that the people you're interacting with still want you around. And that brings me back to like the 100%, be yourself 100%. But that also is just like, I feel personally, I've stopped myself from experiencing stuff because I was so focused on, if I don't do it right, then is it worth doing? But of course it is. What's the saying? It's not about the destination, it's about the journey getting there. I feel like that translates to like everything. Every conversation you have with people, every time you sing at karaoke. Oh my God, like just let me talk about how many years I spent being anxious and nervous that I was going to go on stage and make a fool of myself in karaoke, or not even make a fool of myself, but just not hit the notes well enough. Who cares? Everybody's drunk anyways. They just want to have fun. Stop worrying about perfect. Have fun. If it's not perfect, then it wasn't ever meant to be perfect. I don't even know if number 28 made a whole lot of sense to you guys, but when I wrote it down, I felt like I was having like a philosophical moment, you know? I think in my 28 years, I've learned that I will always be evolving, and I really, really love that about myself. And maybe I don't like people in my life who aren't willing to evolve. I mean, change is really the only thing that's promised to us, right? And evolution is a sign of growth. Anyway. This video is so long. I've been recording for almost an hour, and I feel so bad that Caesar has to go through this. If you guys did watch this whole video and you haven't left a like, or even if you're not subscribed, like, consider hitting those buttons. Also, if you hit the bell button, you'll get notified every time I post a new video. I also post on all of these places, not Fan House anymore, y'all. Fan House is kaput, so unsubscribe to me there if you're still subscribed to me. Other than that, I'd like to see you on all these other places. Happy birthday to me and all the other cancers out there. To another year of growing and learning about ourselves and having a lot of fun while we do it. Sound Gucci? My hair is bugging me, but you know what? It's never going to be perfect. I'll see you guys later. Nope, that's not how I close my videos. I'll see you guys on the YouTubes later, skaters. Let's celebrate my birthday together, friends.